Game capture. There we go. Okay. Hello and welcome. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Let's see if I can squeeze a stream in because my internet has been very spotty for the last few days, as I've made mention, but it actually dropped out completely last night. We'll see how it handles. If this is shorter because of that, then that's the reason. Anyway. So yeah, we're continuing our Warhammer 3 Millennium Modern Warfare campaign. We began making movements into Sylvania, dealing with Vlad and his undead brethren. Before we all have to look further out to the Empire, Hochland has fallen, like clockwork, and Midland isn't looking too healthy either, so we'll have to deploy some forces up there to help with them. To the south, it's not looking that bad, actually. I mean, the dwarves haven't been defeated by Skarsnik yet, so that's good. And Gashnag has actually taken over the regions there, huh? I'm a little worried about the Wood Elves. Gwilyn with Durthu have taken Carricknorn and Grimhold, though they haven't been terribly aggressive, so... I think we're fine for the moment, not having an army terribly focused on defending there. But I have some forces coming along anyway. It's going to put us more into the red, but hopefully we're going to get some good money from sacking these settlements here. Speaking of which...
What does the Emperor bid?
Let's actually rename you. Imperial Super Heavy Mortar. You can be called... I don't know. The Bone Rattler. There we go.
Test me at your peril.
You got Isabella in there, and Bernhard von Karstein.
Do not mistake me.
And down there is a whole bunch of zombies. Okay.
I will marshal the band. Sigmar compels us.
Right. It's turn over. Let's end the turn and wait for the next one. Oh, hello. Welcome, welcome, Exploding Leica. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, people. You've just come in as we've started off. I hope you're all doing well. You're playing Helldivers. Oh, okay. I don't think I know that one. Sounds a bit familiar, but
will bear fruit, friend.
I'm not entirely sure. No, sorry, a game's not coming to mind, though the title is familiar to me. For people who don't know, Exploding Ligar was the creator of a mod I rather enjoyed in the past for Clan Scurvy. So, top-down shooter. Oh, okay. Right, right. Played a few games like that. Not on stream, though. It was like Tyrion. And then there's the Toho series, which I do enjoy, even though I am terrible at them and have never finished one. But yeah, welcome. We are continuing our Millennium Modern Warfare campaign. World War I technology for the Empire. It's silly. Enjoyable, though. Yeah, sure. I can do with money. I am currently losing money. My troops are expensive. Do I want 5 more leadership? No. Okay. I wonder whether saying no to that gives you a high chance of having something else occur. Yeah, give needling back.
What?
Okay. I will give you training level 3.
Raise Sigmar.
And
The nation calls.
We'll go
To
and attack
war!
Castle Templehof. And we'll just fight the battle. Because we can easily win this. With all of our artillery. Pardon me. Right, they injured my huntsman. Ugh. Yeah, well, he'll have to catch up with the army later on. He wasn't providing too much of a bonus. Maybe movement increase? But also that aura, which increased, like, reload speed a little bit. So. What else would I want in this army? 2 more units of assault troops, because they're useful for responding to enemy attacks on my front lines. Maybe another tank squad? Maybe something faster, like an armored vehicle, armored car, because they can zip around a bit better. Possibly some air troops? I think I have some helicopters lying around which I can move into the army. Maybe some more artillery. I'd like another one of these little field cannons. These are good for destroying walls. Maybe another large mortar? I mean, having 8 is even more overkill than it already is. Okay, and yeah, we'll position ourselves up over here again, because this section of wall doesn't have any towers on it. Okay. Yeah. Having another one of those cannons would also, another one of these field cannons would also mean that I could destroy the towers on the walls a bit faster.
Yes, sir! Hand gunners!
Okay, you there, you there,
Calls.
machine gun there, and you lot
Victory
there.
will be ours!
For the ancestors!
Something's odd, hang on. Oh. I might have forgotten to turn the music on last time. I apologize. I tend to play with it off so that I'm, because I'm listening to music from YouTube in the background when I play normally. But,
Ready for
we'll
war!
put it on.
What do you bid? It will be done! Command artillery!
Okay. Yep, just, commence the bombardment.
Great cannon!
You can shoot that, shoot that,
my
shoot
lord.
that, and shoot that. There we go.
Hand gunners! Sigma guides us! Take the ground!
Okay. Tanks
Yes,
move
my
up.
lord!
I mean, who needs music when you've got the sound of artillery blasting your ears out?
Loaded, sir!
Okay, put a mortar there. Mortar there. Oh yeah, that's something else I want. A
Moving out,
infantry
sir.
mortar squad.
General.
Good. Destroy the gatehouse.
Stop them. The Empire endures! Handgunners! Soldiers of the Empire! By Ulrich's wrath!
We'll move you up to here,
Quick march!
so you can shoot at the troops behind the walls through the gaps.
Men of Sigmar, do your duty!
You have to watch out for those bats, actually.
Ready for war!
You move up to there.
They're casting spells! Look out! Spells! Where is it?
Okay, good.
Our weapons are yours! Marina, guide our aim!
Let me move you over to there.
Great cannon!
I could try using our bombardment ability. I feel like the AI will just move out of the way. Well, we'll drop it there. If anything, they'll move into the open here so that my other weapons can hit. There we go. Reminds me of Fall of the Samurai. Okay. They should probably start crumbling soon from army losses. Seeing as they don't really have much else up here other than their lord and a bunch of fellbats. Some skeleton warriors. Let's move you in there. If anything, it will lure them closer to the gates.
At speed! Yes, sir! Take the ground! Keep your head down.
Come on, you can get in there. One at a time. There we go.
What do you need? Shoot them!
And if they get into melee with these, well, they can take a pounding from our artillery. We can just drop it on top of our tanks. That'll be mostly all right. There we go. Yeah, those black knights up there. Yep. You can't see them, there's a hill in the way. Okay.
Form a ring of steel!
Stop. Just wait them to come to you. Wait for them to come to you. I'm sure he's fine. A little shaken inside, but yeah.
By Ulrich's wrath! Yes, sir! Quickly!
Ow!
In range!
Oh no, bats! Get him out of here. There we go.
For Heldenhammer! Ready for war!
They've got a weapon strength of 200, so they're not completely, like, useless in melee.
Prepare for
But,
combat!
I believe it's to represent them running things over more than,
Taking
like,
position.
ramming them like the steam tank does.
Now! To
Help!
battle!
Help! Bats are
Captain of
jamming
the
up
Empire!
all my wheels.
Yes, my lord!
Okay, restock some of the ammunition.
Weapons prime. No lingering.
Bring the tanks out.
State troops ready! Ready for war!
Okay, and head up over there. Quick. There we go. Poor Isabella. Splat. Ugh. I have the blood effects on maximum. They're kind of excessive. There we go. Hello, Wex. Welcome, welcome. Yes, this is the Millennium Modern Warfare, the World War I mod. We are busy dealing with the undead. Oh, 2 losses? What did we lose? Where did we lose them? What? How? Friendly fire, baby. Oh, yeah, I think I should see. One of my rifleman squads looks like it took a little bit of damage. Possibly my machine gun behind it was accidentally took off some of their heads. Undead were famous for the reference in the Trench World War review. Yes. Unsung heroes. Wow, look at that. Our field cannon got 1,000 kills. That's more than our super mortar. I should have called it the Bone Rattler. Any other names people have suggested for me to rename it? I'm willing. Let's see. 1,777 gold. Okay. Yeah, loot and occupy.
What does the Emperor bid?
Okay, build that. We'll build fields and basic walls.
To the provinces?
There we go. Now you, I want... triangulation. You can get... that only affects if it's in the army of with Gotrek and Felix. Increase mobility. I'm not going to be recruiting them because they don't give me bonuses for my army.
Raise Sigma.
Let's get enlarged artillery train. Well, I guess corruption reduction. It's only -3.
I'd wither first.
You're up there.
What does the Emperor bid?
Do not waste my potential.
Okay, so you'll get those 2. Build a tap room there for the control increase. And also, something I have to keep reminding myself in Immortal Empires is they've changed how Sylvania is laid out. CA has changed how Sylvania is laid out. In Mortal Empires, it was Castle Templehof, Fort Oberstyre, and Schwarzhofen in Western Sylvania, and then Drakenhof, Eschen, and Waldenhof in Eastern Sylvania. Now it's Templehof, Fort Oberstyre, and Waldenhof in Northern Sylvania, and Eschen, Drakenhof, and Schwarzhofen in Southern Sylvania. So you have to look out for Waldenhof if you own these two regions, which is a little odd because the only path leading to Waldenhof goes through Eschen. I mean, you couldn't get to Schwarzhofen without getting through Drakenhof anyway, because this mountain range is in the way, so you had to go through the Moot or around this way. But, yeah. No, it's like, it's just kind of separated from them. I mean, you could have put Eschen into there, because then Waldenhof would be separated. Oh well, whatever. End turn. What should we go for next time? It's annoying also, the dwarves having Waldenhof. I won't be able to own the entire region. I don't particularly want to fight the dwarves. Mostly because some of their artillery outranges mine. Outranges mine.
Friendship is more
That's a
valuable.
pain. Do you give me monies for it? Thank you. We might go for Castle Drakenhof next. You know, take their capital, and then they just have minor settlements, and it will just be mopping up the remnants. Assert independence. Reichland has been destroyed. Right. Reichland is at war with Bretonia.
The wild makes warriors.
For some reason.
Yes, my lord.
Well, they were. Not anymore. Because they're not around anymore. We're gonna have to deal with Bretonia. Because I kind of want Altdorf. We can't let the Bretonians take the capital of the Empire. That's just not right.
Let us begin.
Okay, move up there.
By the comet. Of course.
And I'll move those in there.
What?
And you can get also some artillery. Get one of these. Get one of those. We won't get a super heavy mortar right now because it's kind of expensive. I think instead, I don't want to get the old weapons either. I want to specifically make just modern army. Get that.
Who calls?
Okay.
The Empire.
Do I want to go for Eschen? My army can actually reach Eschen. What have they got there? Verhungen. And I've got... What's that? Damned monks of the Red Abbey. Alright. Yeah, from this one, the Red Abbey. I have a mod which adds a bunch of unique buildings all over the place, so
I will marshal the band.
that's why Fort Oberstyre had those ghostly defenders, because it was the Fort Oberstyre built there. So it's just nice. Little bonuses everywhere. Apparently that gives +2 base weapon damage, which is pretty nice. +2. That is quite nice. Not 2%.
What does the Emperor bid?
Hello, welcome, Kibbits. You love how we're World War 1ing our Warhammer Fantasy Battle rivals. If only we had miniguns. We've got machine guns. We have helicopters with machine guns on them. No miniguns. I guess we've got crank guns. Malachi here has a crank gun, which is... I guess it's more of a rapid-fire rifle than a machine gun. It doesn't have the level of fire that our assault infantry or our machine guns have. Yeah, go for Eshin.
War.
Tie 6 machine guns together and spins them around. We need to invent duct tape. Okay, yeah, loot and occupy.
Raise Sigma.
Okay, get growth and a tap room. There we go. Ooh! Our general, Wilhelm, gets a command zeppelin.
To the provinces.
He'll be able to, order our forces from the air now.
Yes, my lord.
Let's see. Cannon firing exercises. Increased range. Because 1,000 range on my super heavy mortar, it's just not enough.
We are burned out. The men are weary.
If I can't shoot them from another zip code away, what's the point?
No.
Okay. Public order there's being a pain. Get rid of that. We'll build a tap room. It's still going to be a problem. Skaven causing that? Get them out of here. No, that doesn't improve matters. Okay. Oh well. Malachi looks so out of place. It might have me the fiery red hair. In one of my other campaigns, I was showing why are we off with Malachi in it, and other people were saying that observing the World War I army, Malachi had never seen such umgi umga.
Interesting. The Bright Order are seeking.
It was just he's just like, oh, what have these humans done? We give them a little bit of technology and they've gone completely overboard with it. Should never have trusted them. Who are you at war with? Bone Rattlers and Clan Mortar. Did I really name my super heavy mortar the same as Jansehc faction? Oh well. He's really useful. He gives extra ammunition for all my ranged units, as well as being unbreakable, having extra ammunition in his pockets, and yeah, just it's really useful for an army which uses so much ammunition and artillery. Okay,
To arms!
we'll sit you there.
Ready.
Pardon me.
To the provinces.
Winfrey, you can go in there. Build a tap room.
You summon me.
Actually, don't build those. My income is rather dangerous. Okay.
That's will work.
I want you to move up here. If they go into Schwarzhofen, we can deal with them.
Do not.
I mean, they're just a bunch of zombies. How about Hell Knights? Flying Black Knights. Delightful. And they also have Spirit Hosts, which are It's a group of spooky ghosts. And these, the Lamian Handmaidens, which they're basically just a unit of anti-infantry vampires. 20% physical resistance. They regenerate in melee. They cause fear.
This will.
Okay. Oh, what about these damned monks in the red abbey? Apparently got poison attacks. They cause terror. Strength of the penitent. 15% physical resistance, melee defense 14. Enabled if they're in melee, and recharges if they're losing battle. They also have frenzy and unbreakable. Okay, so they're just permanently frenzied. Okay. Let's proceed with the bombardment of Drakenhof. Owning Sylvania will be really nice. A super large capital, as well as Templehof, will be able to produce a lot of money for me. Maybe some troops. Primarily, I'll focus it on producing money, and then I might allow it to, or I might build a settlement to generate some extra infantry and vehicles for me. I also noticed that the vampire counts have taken parts of Zufbar, so we might have to head up into the mountains to deal with them there. I had a really annoying campaign once where I took Sylvania, and the dwarves were helping me from Zufbar, and they took Schwarzhafen, and I had one of their provinces in Zufbar, Oakenhold or something, and I was trying for the entire campaign, I was trying to trade them Schwarzhafen for Oakenhold or whatever. They just wouldn't agree unless I gave them a huge amount of gold with it as well. And I'm like, dwarves, this is part of your province. You can make better use of this than I can. You can't make good use of Schwarzhafen because it's in unpleasant climate, like it is for me in the mountains. But they weren't having it. We were friends and allies and everything. They just weren't agreeing to the trade unless I gave them more money than I had available. So whatever. The AI is annoyingly stubborn sometimes. I think people have found that with the threaten option.
Captain of the Empire.
Because you'll be like, because the AI will just be like, nope, I'm going to go to war with you, no matter how much more powerful you are than me. So.
Ready for war. Standing by.
Okay. Begin the bombardment. And let's have a look at this nifty Zeppelin. I do like it. I do like how it looks a lot. Something about the modeling looks a little weird. It might be just because of the ribbing and the lighting is, I don't know, just a bit odd on it. Like, I feel like some sections of it maybe are inside out or something. Anyway. But yeah, it's pretty neat. For some reason, these... not for some reason. So, something which is really neat in this mod is that a lot of the vehicles, they have interiors. Like, this one doesn't actually have anything in it. You can't see, like, the guy in here piloting it. But a lot of the other tanks you can. And that goes for the Zeppelin. It's got an interior. You can see the interior structure in here. I believe the death animation utilizes that because it burns away. But you can see the little canopy? I don't know what you call it. Gondola beneath it. And you've got all the soldiers inside of it. It has 2 mounted machine guns on either side. One here, one there. And you've got 6 other guys with sniper rifles who could take pot shots at the enemy down there. And I think... yeah, it's a little difficult to see. He's in the dark, but our general is sitting there in a chair. Let me see if I can turn it around. Yeah, there you go. You can see he's on a little throne in there. So he's got a cushy seat. Oh, and you've got the pilot up there with a steering wheel too. You've got all these papers and letters on the table behind them, as well as a little repair kit. So yeah, and all the propellers. It's surprisingly quick.
Moving out, sir!
It's got a speed of 127, so not the fastest thing in the air. Faster than some things, faster than the Felbats, but it is absolutely massive. Anything which is shooting at it is not going to miss. You also have to kind of turn it on its side for it to have a good firing line, because it, you know, shoots broadsides.
By Ulrich's wrath!
So
Stop!
yeah, we'll just stop you there,
Target and fire!
park you there, and you can shoot at things which are on the wall. And also, you have to be careful not to hit it with your own artillery.
Hand gunners! No lingering! For Heldenhammer! Go!
Yeah, he'll help a little bit.
Missiles will fly!
Create a heavy mortar.
Heldenhammer!
Another one. And another one. And bombard this area. Hello, welcome. This is the Empire. We're playing with a mod which adds World War I units to them, called Millennium Modern Warfare. Millennium Total War Modern Warfare. Sorry. Total War Millennium Modern Warfare? Yeah, I think that's it. So this is the Empire, but it's not base game. I am playing with quite a few mods. I'm just showcasing this one in particular.
Awaiting orders!
Grand Cathay with full lantern barrage. Not Cathay. The Empire. The Karl Franz and for Sigmar and all that. This is a bombardment ability from, I guess, our off-map artillery. So we have some of our cannons over here. Providing fire support. And we have our rocket batteries and field cannons. This is sort of a what if the Empire developed that when... Pardon, I have to organize my thoughts. This is kind of a what if the Empire moved ahead technology-wise. So, from steam tanks and hand cannons from like late medieval period to early modern period.
The Empire ensures!
Are you doing alright up there? I might move you away. Oh yeah, and as you'd expect, a giant balloon doesn't have much weapon strength. 26, apparently. I don't know how that works. It's got 50 armor, too. It can't land. It's got fire weakness. 10% missile resistance, speed resistance 12. It's big. It's not very resistant to damage. So you do have to be careful. It's a giant balloon. Well, do another bombardment over there. Oh, I cancelled it. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. They're nearly out of troops anyway. Hey. I think there's a few mods which do things like that. As I mentioned last time, I'm pretty sure this mod's fine because it's based off of historical context. Other mods adding things like mechs and all that, you have to be careful that they're not being based off of other IPs. Either Warhammer 40,000 or Age of Sigmar or other IPs like Star Wars or, you know, Mech Warrior, Battle Tech series and so on, because that's a big no-no. Don't make mods like that. Games Workshop and CA do not like it. So this one, as I said, is based off of historical stuff, so it's fine, and it's all the mod's own created models. They're not taken from another game. I have to say also, don't try to be cheeky and think of ways around it. For all the years which Warhammer has been out, it's quite a nice thing that we have modding available for the game at all. Games Workshop was a bit hesitant about it, so you don't want to see them, you know, drop support for it. Loading times are still a thing with this game, and I have it on a solid state drive. It is far better than what it used to be. I used to have to wait 5 to 10 minutes on my normal hard drive. My earlier series, but yeah, I think a lot of that's just because of the mods, all the mods I have. It is faster in the base game.
Raise Sigma.
I know the end turns can get rather long later on in the campaign. Even though there's less factions, it can take quite a while. I think part of that might be because of the dynamic disasters mod I have, which I do like. But I think that it rather increases the turnover time speed, reduces the turnover time speed by a fair amount. Yeah, gold mining pit. I want gold, more money.
The nation calls.
Okay. Increase mobility. Increase mobility. Get full plate armor. Get more armor.
To the provinces.
I wonder if his bonuses for aircraft apply to him. It looks like it does, because his spell resistance is going up when I hover over that. So that's rather interesting. You can get increased range for aircraft. And extra armor there for him. Some physical resistance. Speed increase. I mean, I don't think I'd get that unless I had some other ranged in his army as well.
What does the Emperor bid?
You summon me.
Okay.
It will be done.
Yeah, try and block the army. You'll probably get wounded in the process. No, you just failed. Okay, well, whatever. Enter. I believe this mod has plans for giving modern armies to other factions like Bretonia and Kislev. But I don't think there's been anything else other than just like it's something they'd like to do.
May your horde increase.
Hello. Hey, trade, sure. You're not declaring war on me. Nice. Nope.
Do not waste my attention. It is best to move.
Where next?
Okay, what are your
Equipment
bonuses?
check.
Clean corruption.
I refuse.
Now, if you attack Gelt, he'll be able to defeat you.
Yes, my lord.
I want... What regions have they got left? Oakenhammer, Schwarzhafen, Carrick Jormar, Krugenheim, Telepime.
I will marshal the men.
Okay.
For Heldenhammer!
Go deal with Oakenhammer. Let me order resolve. How's that going to go for our army? Right. Yeah, see, we didn't lose any units, but it dealt a lot of damage to my lord. So, have to be a bit careful about that. I'm gonna loot and occupy. Because I
Raise Sigma.
don't want to suffer the attrition. And my other choice was, I would have taken would have been to raise it. But you can't move after you've raised the settlement.
What does the Emperor bid?
Yeah, cannon fire exercises. So it's got like 1,200 range on that now. 720 range on the field cannon. Pretty nice. Build that and build the Shrine of Sigmar and upgrade those. More money, please. Okay. What else do I want? Yeah, there's not much else in the way of research which will help us. Because these only applies to... These two only apply to base game units. This does give us extra capacity and level for heroes. That's global recruitment, which I guess could be useful. I don't really want to spend the money on these. I don't really like getting these either, because like plus 50 diplomatic relations, I kind of like having the potential to go to war with them, as annoying as it can be, rather than just them being super chummy. So I don't tend to like getting the research, which gives me bonuses to diplomacy, because I feel it makes a campaign play out the same every time. Yeah, get local militias. Actually, I get commodity trading for an increase in trade goods. Okay. Get that there. Remove that. And I go to stop income from there. Get rid of those two buildings. Don't upgrade that. We are a little
Huntsman General.
tight for money at the moment. Would mustering cancel the attrition? Oh, you mean if I went into encamp mode or something? It would. But I probably wouldn't have enough movement after I...
What brings you here to disturb
Oh,
my
hello.
work?
After I sacked the settlement to be able to do that. No, the research tree is not modified for this mod. This mod only adds the modern units and a unique hero, a unique lord to lead them. It doesn't change any of the research in the base game. It's rather compatible that way, because it changes very little. So all the units are added to a tier 5 for those buildings as well, for tier 5 for various buildings as well. So yeah, maybe it would be nice to have some unique research there, but some of them apply, because some of the research is just generically affects all artillery, and I assume that those apply, but I haven't actually checked specifically whether they do. The attrition I would be suffering at the moment would be from the vampire corruption, because these regions have really high. Even though I own these provinces, this region, it still has significant vampire corruption, so just standing around in it will cause attrition. Yes, I don't want to... Okay, thank you.
By the comet. Very well, I'll move.
Go over there. Ah, great, those dwarves are going to take the settlement.
Yes, my lord. I will marshal the
Mutter,
band.
mutter.
It is time.
Okay, yeah, see, just standing around in here, because it's got 75% vampire corruption and increasing. I would suffer attrition just by standing around in there.
Yes.
So I
sound
go in
plan.
camp mode. That way I'll be able to still replenish. Get that. No, I can't afford that. Okay.
To the provinces.
I need to free up some more money, so I'm gonna get rid of these two troops. And I'll get logistical staff on you. I don't...
The nation calls.
I think if I disband him, I can recruit him later on. He's got a really useful skill, Noble, which reduces the construction time for buildings in that province. Or that region. So, I don't want to lose him. But I think I'd be able to recruit him later on. That wouldn't fix my upkeep problems, though, but it would give me a few more turns. I'll keep him there. Who knows, an enemy might pop out of nowhere when I need to build an army with my 3,000 gold. The AI likes looking at your regions and saying, you don't have an army near here. Even though we're on amiable terms, I'm actually going to go to war with you and try and take that from you.
You stand before the supreme patron.
300 gold? No. You insult me, sir. Ah. Skaven. Clan Fester again. Well. They're going to take Grunberg from me. Have to turn around and deal with them. Okay. Nearby mercenaries, because I can't afford the money. There we go. Right, where was Grunberg? Oh, up there. Okay, that's not too bad. Oh. Okay. Dwarves took Schwarzhafen.
To the provinces.
Still Carrick Dromar there.
To strengthen the empire.
Hop into Templehof.
Let us begin.
I want you to...
Well, I will do this.
I'm hoping they'll go and attack Carrick Dromar next. So I don't have to. I'm going to go...
Moving off.
down back to Solent and go through here and deal with the Skaven. Okay. More money. More money.
Yes.
Increase mobility. Okay, so what am I going to do with you afterwards?
Such insolence.
There's angry trees up there. I guess we could potentially deal with Dryka. That'll put me on the border with Azag. Or I could march up to Telepime and take that. I wish I had these entire regions, these entire provinces. Ugh! I don't own either of them, so I can't use an edict to increase public order by 4. It is infuriating. Felt the same as having a new lord in MED infested region. Yeah, having to juggle everything around the place. Angry tree, ants. Yeah, basically.
I trust our dealings will bear.
Oh, sure. An extra 1,800. Thank you. Dryka is an angry dryad. Along with a lot of other angry trees and spellbound elves. Fun campaign. I like playing as Dryka and restricting myself to just the forest spirit units. I've done a campaign of that on stream in the past. I was actually doing one on my own a few days ago. Yeah, she's up here. She's not immediately at war with us, so I'm content to just leave her be at the moment. But the fact that she owns Beckhafen, Nagenhof, Mordheim, makes it tempting to go to war with her so I can take that province.
Raise Sigma.
So,
Okay,
follow me.
march up here. And it doesn't say Skaven corruption. So I'm thinking these two regions here are just ruins.
Yes, my lord. By Sigma's right. Indeed.
Okay, move over there. Upgrade that. And build a tap room.
Calls.
And yeah, you can see the corruption has gone down enough. The vampire corruption's gone down enough that I'm not suffering attrition in this province. Now, there's still some attrition here, but that's because it's a swamp. There's a swamp there. And that causes attrition if you have armies in it. I think there's another one up here. Well, there should be. That's a fell hen up there. Hellfen. So, I don't know. Anyway.
By the comet. It is for the best.
Right.
Pick up the pace.
Head up here. I think we can leave this province alone. We'll go deal with Telepime. Maybe deal a joint effort versus a common enemy? Possibly. I tend to let the AI come to me for diplomacy. Well, I guess it depends on how dire the situation is. Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Whatever. At least you didn't take it. You should have taken it, Vlad. Then you'd have 2 regions over there instead of just the one. Now you're suffering attrition because you raised the settlement is sitting in my region. Join war against Talia. No. I don't wish to upset Borgio. Affected Camperbad. Ugh. It's a Skaven plague. Right.
Ready. This will bolster the nation.
Okay. Begin marching up there.
I am ready. Are you?
My income is very low. Gonna get rid of you. And I'm gonna get rid of you.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Okay. Now. We're in the positive. March up here. Hopefully the Skaven come and attack me. Hopefully they don't get an ambush, actually. Clan Festa is being a problem over there because of another mod. Is it over in Lost Factions? I think it is. Which adds the Rotblood tribe from Vermintide too. So they are a vassal of a Norscan faction up here. And up here on this auto map. And yeah, it's why they had like warhounds in their army.
Greetings in Sigmar's name.
Because they get some of their allies' units in their army. No, we took Wissenberg. Demand to return. Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
Okay, I am going to
Wind of Shammon, I will. Yes, that will do.
move up to here. We can retake Grunberg.
I will marshal the band. Step to it!
You can march up here. Okay, I just get an extra 2,000 gold.
Thou art unfit to govern me.
Please don't take my
Begone.
region.
By the comet!
Okay. Maybe I should have sat over there to deal with Vlad. Oh well. Oh, sorry. Are we going for time? Okay.
Welcome, brothers in metal.
Sure. What's this? Alchemist Supreme. Oh, it's like a little story. Let's see. We just wanted to say how much we appreciate your contributions to the field in recent years, said Gustavus Turmgever, master of the Imperial School of Artillery in Nuln. I know you mostly deal with those upstart engineers in Altdorf, but even here in Nuln, we know your name and what you have done. Gelt nodded his appreciation of the gesture and gracefully dismissed the delegation, which included Eubor Falk, leader of the retainers from Nuln's School of Engineering and Artillery, collectively known as the Ironsides. After they had left, Gelt rose from his seat and crossed the room to close the door. Pacing back to the luxurious bed the engineers of Nuln had provided him with, Gelt sank down onto the plush mattress. It was with a slightly shaky hand that the Supreme Patriarch removed the gloves that covered his hands and forearms. The injuries that marred his flesh were for him and him alone to see. The world could speculate all it liked, but Gelt remained private about his afflictions and his failures. Below the rings and bracelets he wore, patterned script was inked into his flesh, the lines running up the length of his arm. The skin was wrinkled and marred well before its time. Certainly Gelt's experiments had resulted in new formulations of black powder, earning him the admiration of people like Termgiver, and his accident had fueled his lust to merge magic and science together in his own brand of alchemy. Yet the cost could not be denied as being high. The freak accident in his laboratory had almost killed him. Most likely it should have killed him, but for the fortune of a nearby elixir, Panacea Universalis, and perhaps the fortune of whimsical gods if Gelt were ever the reason himself a religious man. Though the gods undoubtedly existed, Gelt trusted more to science to safeguard his life, and ever afterwards carried the panacea on his person. Gelt stilled his shaking hands and drew his gloves back on. There was always more work to be done. Okay. That's from another mod. It's like little short stories here and there when you visit new regions and so on. So what have you got in your army? Warp grinders, rotten rodents, rot blood vomiters, a ranged unit, how delightful, 4 rattling guns, slings, slavering moors, frothing wolf rats, and rot bloodhounds. Also some plague spears and your lord, Scarrick Spine Mangler.
Not enough warpstone.
Well, we need to deal with you. So we will deal with you. Now we revealed the settlement, so there's more. Okay. Oh, I should have checked the map. Is this going to be a crossing battle? Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, that's fine. They're just going to be sitting there at a crossing. Hmm. Okay. Well, okay, good. Also, I am just going to have to take a quick break, so I'll pause the recording here and we'll continue with the battle when I come back, which will be in just a moment. Okay, we're back. Right, so now we're going to be positioned there. I don't have much in the way of artillery, so I'm going to have to be sitting rather close to them. We'll put our helicopters over here.
Yes, sir. For the comet, ready.
Oh, hang on. Right, we're going to be making use of our we're going to be making use of our engineers, aren't we? That means we don't want to get too close. Will they attack me if I'm here? I attacked them, but because we're low in number, they might actually attack us first. I could just sit in the corner over here. There's a pretty good field of view over there. It's just nice and flat. They don't have any artillery of their own. Here? I guess I could possibly set up on this hill here like this. That's not completely in a corner. Okay, we've got our armored battle trucks and machine guns. Okay. Gelt on his horse, and we have our Huntsmaster General.
I am supreme.
Okay. Start the battle. Now. We'll pause. MG bunker. MG bunker. Put that there. That there. That there. And you... I am going to put a pioneer trench in front of them.
Affirm!
Okay, what are they doing? Okay, they're sitting around. Ooh, do they have menace from below?
For Heldenhammer! At your service! For Heldenhammer! Verena, guide our aim!
Okay.
Understood!
Deploy the mortars. There we go. So you can see, they have a little pipe mortar.
Artillery units!
We're going to have to entice them to come over here with our
Loaded,
helicopters.
sir.
Doesn't seem like they have,
Handgunners!
menace from below, so that's good.
By my will alone.
For the twin-tailed comet!
Okay, you can hop back in here. Let's actually have a look at these models, because they've got a bunch of new units. So here's Rotten Rodents. These are from the Pestilent Brotherhood mod. It gives a bunch of Clan Pestilence themed units for the Skaven. Rotten Rodents are basically clan rats. But, you know, Clan Pestilence themed. They have some unique abilities. Disgusting Demise. Apparently they explode. If the unit dies, they explode. Giving -10 leadership to nearby units. Befouling Essence. They slow enemy units around them. Delightful. Pus bags with slings. Slaves. We have the Rot Blood Plague Spears here. Again, based off the faction from Vermintide 2. They have Plague Blood, which gives them melee damage reflection +5. So when you hit them in melee, you take a bit of damage. And they have Plague Spears, which when they hit a target, it deals 5 to 10 damage per second. I think just once. So it's like a little bit of extra damage whenever they're hitting something in melee. At least it doesn't have a counter there for how long that lasts for. Normal pus bags, just slaves. The rattling guns and warp grinders, they're the usual. More rotten rodents. Oh, there's the rot blood vomitus. They have a ranged attack with 150 range. Maybe they throw something? I hope they don't throw up something. That's disgusting. Please don't do that. And dual weapon rotten rodents. And some more wolf grinders. And then the garrison's just generic Skaven units. Their lords around somewhere, but I can't see them at the moment.
Handgunners!
Boomers. Yeah, I guess they are a bit. From
Yes,
like
sir. Quickly!
Left 4 Dead or something.
I hope you checked your weapons, lads. It's going to be a tough one.
Okay, build that there.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
Build that there.
Quick march!
So, again, a refresher. We're building our fortifications here. Our riflemen can build these trenches. These provide a protection from missiles and charge bonus defense for units nearby them. These ones are only our pioneers can create. They are enforced trenches. They provide the missile and charge bonus defense as well as having barbed wire on it, so they deal a little bit of damage over time and slow enemy units down, which are nearby them. And then we have barbed wire over here, which just deals a little bit of damage over time and slows enemy units down which are nearby, so.
State troops ready!
You have like one half. This provides the bonuses to both of them. The reinforced trench.
Missiles will fly!
Men, let us go gladly to meet the foe.
Let's see. I want you to put this mortar here.
Hellblaster volley gun!
Move
Marchers
that
one!
machine gun.
Watch for the stern tower marksmen. See they don't put a bolt through the eye of the foe.
Put that there.
We serve the Emperor!
And then put this heavy mortar here. Angled like that.
Hand gunners!
And this one angled like that.
I pray
Ready for war!
Okay. Gelt move over there. We also have our armored battle trucks here. They have a variety of machine guns on them. They have one on a turret on top, and they have two coming out the sides. None on the rear. No, they have shovels on the back there. Again, I think this is based off an actual vehicle from World War One. This one actually does have some interior. You can see the guy in here sitting inside. Well, I guess not sitting. He doesn't have a chair, and he's got a steering wheel. There's no one in the back there mounting the machine guns, but yeah. And all the grill work on the front too. It's actually got some kind of an engine in there too. Huh. A bit unnecessary amount of detail, but eh. Thankfully my computer's powerful enough it doesn't cause frame rate issues.
Sigmar, watch it!
Oh, and our helicopters. So I was talking yesterday about, I wasn't sure whether these were actually based off a real type of helicopter. You can see they've got two rotary blades on them, and they rotate. I would guess theoretically they'd rotate in sync with each other so they don't hit. But I don't know enough about really early helicopters to know whether this is based off a real model or something. But you can see the pilot in there. He's got the flight stick and a panel with a bunch of dials and such on it. You've got wheels. And it's got two machine guns on it. You can see just there. One there and one there. So that's how that's what it uses to attack.
Standing by!
And they can land. I'm
For the Emperor!
pretty sure.
Are Sigma's heirs! They are Sigma's foes!
Okay, never mind. They can't land. The heavy helicopters can. Oh, they're attacking.
Roland staff!
The heavy helicopters can land. Those ones can't for some reason.
Hand gunners! Go!
Hello, welcome, Sogniff.
What do you bid? Hand gunners! Yes, my lord! To battle!
We could have put some mines down, but they're getting a little close at the moment, so. So yeah, flying machine guns, pretty effective.
Understood!
There was the vomiters.
To battle! Kill or be killed! For Heldenhammer!
They're like firing one shot off. That's something I've noticed a few of the machine gunners do. Uh-oh. It's like the pilot starts shooting with these gun or something instead of using the machine
Yes,
guns.
my lord! Shoot them!
Yeah, there we go. Daka daka daka. Aha, Skaven, you think you've got the heavy weaponry.
Don't miss fire!
Deal with the rattling guns, please. Uh-oh.
Sigma air!
No! They've got guns in the road. Get out of here.
Ready ammunition!
Good.
Twin-tailed comet!
Okay. Oh yeah, deal with it, Lord. I've had issues in the past of the helicopters really, like, bumping into each other
Detachments move!
and just having real issues sort of flying around the place. Yeah, kind of like that. Because they take rather wide turns. Yeah, there, right there. It doesn't deal damage to them. It does kind of mess up when they're trying to get somewhere.
Guides us.
It could cause them to be a little bit slow at
Yes!
following your orders. But yeah. Hello, they're shooting us again.
By Ulrich's Rough!
Okay. Yeah, chase them down. Let's go.
For Heldenhammer! Take the ground!
Come on, lad. You've got some magic. You'll be useful in this situation. If you were on your flying Pegasus, it would be even better.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
That's redundant. I don't need to say flying Pegasus. I can just say Pegasus. They are flying by nature.
The Empire endures!
Boo! Moved out of the way.
All right! Fire!
Here with the rattling guns. There we go. Lovely.
For Heldenhammer!
Now deal with their plague lord. I believe this is pretty much just a warlord, but with a plague sensor. You're going to fly your flying Pegasus down to the ATM machine so you can buy some chai tea.
Yes, sir! We obey!
So many redundancies.
In range!
Uh,
For Heldenhammer! Fire! Fire!
there we go, he's dead. Do I want to hunt down
Man,
any
just
more
one.
of them? I guess we can shoot a few more of them. This is truly what you need for the welcome to Astalia. Quote from Gil. I won't say that isn't part of the reason why I chose to play as Gil. Though I don't see us going to Astalia. Please, helicopters. You need to pilot better. Minimum distance. Minimum safe distance, please.
Attendant is the head of a bombardment.
They're new. They haven't quite sorted this flying thing out yet.
What do you bid?
Wonk.
Run, flee, flee! I'll fight another time. Quake! Quaking! Scamper, come back! Retreat! Surrender! Not my fight!
Come on, up here.
Save my own fur!
Shoot them!
Get a few more kills.
We are doomed! Run, flee!
Oh, okay.
Fight another!
They've used up all their ammunition. Ugh. That went pretty well. And they didn't get the drop on us, so seems a little OP. I don't know what you're talking about. From the mod page, the units are balanced for the base game, but just because of the nature of, you know, them being machine guns and all that, they are overpowered. So what they would mean by that, I guess, is that the infantrymen, you know, they have stats equivalent to like the swordsmen or around things like that, and their missiles, but because they fire volleys of like, you know, 20 shots, they deal significantly more damage, and the artillery has a range of like 1,000 and so on. So. Yeah, give me money.
Let us begin. Ulrich's will.
Okay. No, it'll make me lose my helicopters. Ugh. Fight the battle. I don't want to lose the helicopters, so we'll play this. We're on a nice hill. It's like a road running down the middle. Okay. We're going to go with this for another 20 minutes or so, because there's something else I want to do tonight, so. I'll have a brief break, and then I'll swap over to the other thing I have planned. Okay. Ah, nice sunny day. Well, they don't have any rattling guns, so that's fine.
Handgunners! We are Sigmar's heirs!
The Empire endures! Sigmar commands!
Might not need to actually
Huntsman!
build our defenses for this level.
Hellblaster volley
For this
gun!
battle, not level. Where'd that come from?
Handgunners! Take aim! I dreamt of the common
Affirmative!
It's an omen.
Okay,
Ranged
go on.
weapons ready!
Beep, beep.
Move! No lingering!
Let us go!
No lingering!
We are Sigmar's heirs!
Awaiting orders! Go! Now we strike! Forward, man! At speed! On our way!
One of the
Take
side
ground!
effects of the light mortars, I don't know, it seems weird. The light mortars have really high
Understood.
speed, and I don't know why.
For the Emperor!
Compared to other infantry, they're like zooming around at 66,
For Heldenhammer!
whereas other infantry have like
Yes, sir.
42 speed. So
Yes!
Sir! Take position!
clearly they've been putting in
Weapons drawn!
their daily count or
To
whatever.
battle! Now!
Hong Kong.
Awaiting orders! For the Warhammer!
Get back here.
For Heldenhammer! Come back!
Okay.
Take the ground!
They all fled. They have. Good. Okay.
Ready for war! Finding range, sir! What do you bid?
Build some mortars.
Ready for war!
Yes, sir!
Pack up and redeploy.
Weapons primed!
The Empire endures! Take position!
Your call! For the Emperor! State troops ready! By Ulrich's wrath against the wet skies! Weapons primed! Quick march!
Where'd the rest of your army go?
The Empire endures!
They were around here.
Sigmar calls! Limber weapons!
Ready for war! Go! On my command! At speed! Attack! Quick march!
Awaiting orders!
Balthazar Gelt!
Ready for war! At speed! Sigmar guides us!
There we go.
Moving now!
And no helicopters were harmed. The Honor Resolve seems to single out flying units kind of heavily sometimes. Because I've seen battles where it's like the only unit someone loses is, say, the balloons, which Cathay has. Even when the enemy don't have any ranged units, so they wouldn't be able to attack it, or any flying units of their own. It's just like, nope, your flying unit is dead. There's been problems like that in the past with some other games too. In the past with Warhammer Total War 2, like artillery being focused out or things like that. Hello, welcome. Monkey. Maybe somewhere. Oh, balloons. Right, yes. I understand now.
Do not waste my potential.
I don't know whether there's that many. We have some of our own. We have a Zeppelin in one of our armies, so...
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Let's see. Get Quartermaster. Make your army cheaper for me, please. It's expensive. Okay, hey, we're actually in the positive. Upgrade word bad.
to the provinces.
Okay, can you get up to Telepime?
This will bolster the nation.
You can.
Ulrich's will.
Okay, go and take Telepime. And we'll shell another settlement into submission. I'll probably fast forward it. I don't really like doing so, but we've seen the sieges. We've seen how these go. Very well for us. We'll actually see the Zeppelin, because our lord here is the one who has it. Like, one thing I'd like to see with this modern army is some sort of extrapolated units based on the Empire's unique situation in the Warhammer world. This is kind of present in one of the artillery pieces being called the, sort of like, the anti-monster gun, where instead of an anti-tank gun. But I feel like it's something which could be leaned more heavily into, because the Empire's not just dealing with, you know, other humans. They're dealing with things like Chaos Warriors, or Dragon Ogres, or Giants, and Greenskins, and dinosaurs from Lustria, and everything like that. So, I feel like they're, they could have units based around the technology being developed in such a way as to provide an answer to these problems. With the base units, you don't really need anything like that, because all of the riflemen and all that have sort of anti-large and anti-infantry and anti-armor on their guns anyway.
Handgunners!
So, yeah, plus 15, so they're not hurting for it. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Just something which could make it a bit more, again, a bit more unique to the Empire's situation. Where do I want to position? There's towers everywhere. Here? Up there, I guess.
What do you bid?
Please don't hurt too much, towers.
Handgunners!
There's not too much I can do against them. Yeah. There's our Zeppelin. Big balloon. There's even larger ones you can get. That one's just a scout
Standing by! Mortar!
The larger ones actually have bomb bays, so they can
For the Warhammer! Crew to cannon!
drop payloads on the enemy troops, which is pretty neat. Not fully Kirov, but you know, pretty close. Okay, we'll get rid of these towers first. I don't want to be dealing with them. And then we'll move our troops up and there we go. Attack the gatehouse. Not really a good hill here.
To battle! speed! I speak, you act. Yes, sir. Detachments move! Move off!
Okay, very good.
Handgunners!
Or do I want to position myself over here? I can knock holes in the wall there. Yeah, I might do that.
For Heldenhammer!
That will give me
Gunners!
an easier time at dealing with the enemy inside.
By Ulrich's wrath!
Go! Yes, General.
Okay.
Mortar!
Gunners!
You can hop over here.
No shoddy
You two hop over there.
here. Ready for war!
Limber,
For the
Limber.
twin-tailed comet!
limber. And we'll move
By
them all
Ulrich's
over there.
wrath! To
we go.
battle!
Well, actually, have a look at this. So, you can see the artillery is hitched up to a team of 4 horses. They've got the 2 guys riding on the back there, like that. The rockets are hitched up as well. Except for the large cannons, a horse isn't enough, so they actually have a armored car to haul it around. It's got a whole bunch of guys sitting inside. They've all got their rifles on the walls there too. You got this. Oh, they've actually got chairs in there, and a gear stick and pedals. Neat. Yeah, they can actually move them around pretty quickly.
Sir! Moving!
Guess I can move you into the settlement. They have some air. The Fellbats. Actually, no. If the Fellbats get close, they're going to. My guys are going to start shooting the balloon to get rid of them, and that could cause problems for the general.
Ready for war!
So hop over there.
March!
By Ulrich's wrath!
Okay.
Yes, my lord!
There's probably going to be that issue with the crew moving back over to where they were before.
What do you
Yeah.
bid?
So
Let us go!
you need to
Heading out!
give them a move command to reset their location. There we go.
By Ulrich's wrath! Form a ring of steel! Fire! Cannons! Fire!
Okay, destroy the wall.
Kazuk! Range far, range fast!
At your service! Artillery! Crank that machine!
It's actually 3 sections of wall.
The Empire endures!
Okay, one more section.
Show us the foe! By God, Moraz!
You can actually move up. Their lord
Ready
is
ammunition!
being real annoying.
Hand gunners!
It's casting Flock of Doom on us.
State troops ready! Hand gunners! We are Sigmar's heirs!
Machine guns are pretty good range, so we can't shoot him.
Hand gunners! For Heldenhammer!
Oh, tower's active.
Pick your targets!
No, we're going to lose some troops. Ugh.
Don't misfire!
Okay, there we go.
Mortar! Seeking enemy! Hand gunners!
Let's create some
We are
AA
Sigmar's
installations.
heirs! Yes, General!
But they all moved out of the way. There we go.
The Empire endures!
Okay, move up.
No lingering! State troops ready! Ready! Formation, march!
Come on, get in there. Okay, there we go. Oh, we lost 9 troops. What's that? Gold pinions. Oh, it's a unit from Marienburg. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, that was something else. There was an update for the mod which adds Marienburg, and I believe the city of Marienburg now actually has a unique campaign map model for its for the city, which is cool. People might remember the mod for Warhammer 2 GCCM, which sadly has not been continued for Warhammer 3. So they did, the mod did a lot of really great work providing unique models for a bunch of the settlements around the world, around the campaign map. So it's nice to see a little bit of that in Warhammer 3 as well. Because there was like a unique Castle Drakenhof model, there was a unique Altdorf model. Don't know if there was one for Middenheim, but...
Yes, my lord.
Get that, get that. Let's see. So, we don't have to worry about vampire corruption up here anymore. But there is Nurgle corruption up there. What have we got? Oh, right. Provincial recruitment. So this is Telepime unique units. They have the extra ability here. Yeah, 20% speed when in forest battles. Also have this Tal Grunha forest, which provides warrior priest of Tal and horde hunters and daughters of Rhea celebrants. I haven't actually seen these units before. Various forest themed units. Ooh, he's got his own law. Summon squirrels, eh? Okay. Earth Shudder and Tanglefoot. What's this? Tal's Fury. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Let's see. I gotta build the walls here, and we'll upgrade that. Oh. Tal and Rhea are the oldest gods, most of the rest of their children. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I know very little about the Empire's gods, like specific, more specific details. I don't even remember all of them. Only the major ones. Sigmar, Ulrich, I guess Tal, Ronald, and more. I don't really know the other ones. Or more deeper lore about them. So.
Now,
Let's see. Increase mobility. And... yeah, Sapper. Increase their speed. Full plate armor. And you can get... I'm gonna get adaptability. Or adaptable. Lower attrition from all sources. If we get infected by Nurgle disease, I don't want it to
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
cause huge casualties to my army. Okay. Oh, you took Dottenbach. Well, that's fine. We own that entire region. I can march Gelt back over here to deal with Vlad if I need to.
Welcome to my private study. Why?
Sure. Tal, Rhea, Ulrich, Manan, Ronald, Sigmar, Shelia, and more. Right, yeah. Thank you. Then there's the new school gods from Talia and Astalia. Oh, yeah. Mamidia being the primary one of them. That's actually the only one I know. Because that's where the Knights of the Blazing Sun come from. Yeah, I wonder whether the Temp factions make mention of the other god. Probably. Cataf knows his stuff.
It is time.
But I sadly can't remember the details of all the buildings in the faction off the top of my head.
I will marshal the men.
Okay.
Raise Sigmar.
Albert, if you could deal with this vampire here and his posse of
You summon me.
followers, that'd be really useful. Man, it's a lot of heroes wandering around.
Yes, that will do.
Okay, go.
On march.
Get back over here, lad. The old school Empire gods are actually the same as the Elven gods. Yes, it's one thing I do remember about, like, the gods which the various factions have, is that they're all sort of the name, they're all sort of other names for existing Elven gods. Which I think, and even among the elves, have got like different names depending on which elf faction you're talking about, I think. The elves have like Anath Rayma, is it Huron? No, Vol, Assyrian.
Welcome, brothers in metal.
I can't remember the others. Kane. I kind of like how complicated it is, but it is a pain to remember. Then there's a pretended god Nagash. Yes, Big Bone Lord. Big Bone Daddy. He's sitting on the throne at the moment. Kind of in a whole bunch of parts. Playing as Wood Elves, you get research based off of all the different gods of the elves.
What does the Emperor bid? What?
Okay.
Move.
I hope we don't get attacked by Nurgle. They are...
You need a boon.
They would be a pain.
You have entered my surgery. Now prepare to be cut open.
Nope. Because, yeah, they're tough. They're resistant to missiles. We're kind of heavy on missiles. I need flamethrowers.
To the provinces?
I could recruit some flamethrowers. Where are they? Get back up. There we go. Flamethrowers. Sure, I'll get one unit of flamethrowers. Okay. You know, Kislev's not looking too healthy. Azazel's got Ehrengrad. That's not good. They've lost Volksgrad to the Rotblood tribe. Templehof Heimkel as well. Norscan dwarves have fallen. Cracker Drak. I still own Prague and Kislev. And Vitevo Forchikova. But Kostaltum's gone. They own Wolfenburg. Kislev really likes taking parts of the Empire. And Norden. Ooh, Scaling's own Dieterschaffen. Hey, Marienburg's still there.
Welcome, my countrymen.
There's the Jan van de Kuipers? I guess. Will you be interested in trade? Yes, you would.
Empire's blessings, yes.
There we go. For how long you're going to be around for. Laurelon Forest is owned by Bretonia as well. Your shoulder still hurts. Oh, man.
Raise Sigma.
I, give my
Ready.
condolences. I hope it's improving at least a little bit. Let's... Yeah, end turn. How are we going for time? Okay. Maybe I'll do another 10 minutes, another 20 minutes. I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen next. Yeah, those champions of chaos, chaos armies added by the DLC a few months ago. They are two of them. Azazel and Festus are a huge problem for the Empire. Azazel mostly for Kislev, but Festus right here. Hergig is... What faction's Hergig?
Who calls?
I don't remember them. They're never around for long enough for me to remember.
It is best to move.
No, we went and took Oakenhammer. Upgrade Templehof.
Yes, my lord.
Get grazing no, hang on. Okay. Right. Okay, that's fine. Enter. I get the flamethrower unit, then I'll go and take Hergig. If I have the money to. Think you need 2,500?
Welcome to my private study.
Oh, hey, Kashnag again.
Wine of
Join war against Clan Scryer. You don't have any treaties with Astalia, so what's that mean? Astalia has been taken over by Skaven? Count Noctor's own Sartosa. Oh, and there's Tomb King sailing around. The Army of the Golden Scarab. Yes, the I do have the Tomb King's mod, Tomb King's extended mod. So made by Agemog. So Tomb Kings are a big threat. They have a lot of variety of units. And the extra lords and all that. You have to watch out for them. Along with all the other factions. What's another one on the pile? Clan Scryer. I mean, they're all the way over there. Yeah, fine, whatever. Halflings have two of their own gods as well. Oh, yeah. I think I remember that. I don't remember what they're called. Oh, money. Ooh, Confederation was Whistleland. I would like known. Yep. And that's why I don't like doing that. Because my income just goes honk. Alchemist Supreme. The dead were rising again. Such had happened time and time again. Sylvania was a cursed land, and it had unleashed that curse on the Empire innumerable times. The problem of Sylvania was something often on Gelt's mind of late. The cursed legacy of Nagash had left an indelible mark on the lands of the Fenons. Purges of the land have been attempted. I don't know what Fenoners is. It had at different times in history been both independent and subject to the rule of Stirland. It seemed as if the Empire would forever be cursed with this blight. Yet, if it could not be destroyed, ruled, or trusted, perhaps a different approach was required. Perhaps a way could be found to contain the whole of the province, to summon some vast barrier that would prevent the evils of that land from spreading. Or perhaps the powers so strong in Sylvania were not inherently evil, but just misused. There were stories of a vampire named Genevieve who had helped save the Emperor's life. Though after a brief surge in the popularity of the knight in Altdorf, its citizens had formed a league to drive the undead and their advocates out. Containment or control? Gelt pondered this question. He shook his head wearily. More time to think on this issue would be required, but for now he needed rest, and it would be difficult enough to sleep with the wolves howling throughout the night. It's going because he's gone into Sylvania. That's why the story popped up.
I will.
I've actually had little stories for specific events during my campaigns, like taking out Karasa Karak or taking over some other capitals or factions. I don't know whether they're actually from Games Workshop or whether they're fan written, but they're pretty well written. Right, let's go to Hergig. Colonize. Or reinstate. Hergig's just going to get destroyed again if I do that.
What does the Emperor bid?
We'll reinstate Hergig.
On march!
And we'll go back to Telepime.
The Empire.
It is so.
I'm hoping either they go over to Hergig, raise it, their armies will be nearby, or they'll take over Hergig, which means they'll be in the settlement so I can bombard them. The big problem I've had with Nurgle in the past are these exalted heroes. These, if they're on chariots, are a huge pain. They're heavily armored, they have poison attacks, they've got very good weapon strength, they've got good speed, they can have regeneration. That's what it's like, you know, physical resistance and sometimes damage over time for enemy units nearby. Yeah, right here, regeneration. So, it's just... we don't have an answer for enemy lords or heroes other than all of our guns. If this guy gets into our front lines, then that's a big problem. Our guys can't fight him off. None of these are strong enough. And our lord can't. He's in a Zeppelin. Our Empire captain, he's not strong enough. Malachi and Ludwig, again, not really. So, we really have to deal with them before they get to our front line.
Yes?
One of the weaknesses of this faction. Oh, right. My income.
I serve Sigmar.
Praise Sigmar.
Where's the army? Ooh, a hero. You can go over there.
What does the Emperor bid?
Alright, here we go. Grand Marshal Erkstein. And Theodore Bruckner. And Heimdall Scheiverhassen Burgerstein. I'm going to have to cut this army down significantly. Because it's costing me far too much.
I will marshal the men.
Bruno, you can get out of here. You can go up there.
Trinkets won't go amiss.
You can go over there.
It is time.
I will
This will bolster the nation.
march you over to Nuln. Actually,
Step to
Feldorf, because I'll start, replacing your army with modern troops. I said replacing your army with modern troops.
To the
Thank you.
provinces.
So, do your heroes have any bonuses which could be useful for me? Ooh, extra range and missile strength. Casualty replenishment. Ammunition, but only for those specific units, so not the modern ones. Recruitment cost reduction for artillery, that could affect. Lions roar. Okay, a bombardment. That's nice. Yeah, okay. He's useful. Art of triangulation. What about you? You're a good duelist. Yeah, you get bonuses for Demigryph Knights. But nothing else. You got a cool model though. You got a cool helmet. What's these items? Liar's Bane. And Bale Flame Amulet. And let's
Yes,
look
my
at Grand Marshal Erkstein. He's a big lad. With a big axe. And a big shield. Oh yeah, we have Elspeth somewhere. Oh, she's currently wounded? Okay. Oh no, she's there. Okay. I think I might have said in the past, erroneously, that Elspeth von Draken is the Elector Count of Whistleland. She is not. That is Emmanuel von Leibwitz? I want to say her second name is? Elspeth is just a high-ranking, if not the highest-ranking mage of Shyish, who serves Emmanuel. Emmanuel, the actual Elector Count, she is not a combatant. She's more of a statesman, stateswoman, so makes sense for her not to be an actual lord to players. Like how Finubar isn't a playable legendary lord, even though he is the Phoenix King of the High Elves. Because he is more of a diplomat, and Tyrion is the one who does all the fighting in his stead.
nation calls.
Axe or boomstick?
What?
It's a very big axe. If it had a gun built into it, well, then it would be like the Chaos Dwarfs. They've got guns like that. They've got their flame glaives, fire glaives or whatever, which have a rifle built into their like halberd or something. And then you've got Kislev, who have actually got gun axes. The Lord had missile damage. Which Lord? Pardon? Do you mean Erkstein? Erkstein? The one which we just
I
got?
trust our dealings will bear fruit.
I don't think he does. I think he's just got an axe and a shield. Elspeth von Draken doesn't. She's got a scythe, but she is a mage. So,
Yes.
yeah. Erkstein here.
Praise
Erkstein.
Sigmar.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. He doesn't have missile strength, so it is not a ranged weapon. But yeah, I see now what you mean. It's actually made... It's actually got like a trigger and a bit there. And a nozzle on the end. As if it's a rifle. But it doesn't look like it is actually a ranged weapon. Is it an ability he can get? Nope. Doesn't look like it. He's just... Looks like he's made his axe out of a broken rifle or something.
By the comet!
Ability weapon. I don't think he's even got an ability for
I
it.
will marshal the men.
No. This
Ready.
is something different, I think. This says it's a cannon. So... I don't know. I don't think that is that. This is just like a map-wide wind ability. I might be wrong. I haven't used him in
What does
combat
the
before.
Emperor bid? Pick up the pace.
Okay.
I will not.
Got Ulrika, Conrad, Isabella, and Vlad. Again, this Ulrika, it's not the one coming as a free legendary hero from Creative Assembly when the Chaos Dwarves come out. This is a modded one. So, just be aware of the difference there. I don't have early access to anything.
Your bidding be done. Of the occult mortal eyes need help.
Okay, hey, Hergig didn't die. They're growing up so fast. Put a clothier, and there.
The Empire.
Okay. I mean, if he could take Schwarzhofen from the dwarves, then I could come in and take it. Then I'd own an entire province.
What?
Such insolence.
Can I deal with his army with him? I don't have artillery in this army. That's a bit worrying.
To the provinces?
But his army is wholly melee, so... I would be able to, just shoot them as they come to me.
Friendship is more valuable than gold.
Hey, Kislev. Sure. Speaking of gods, then Kislev has their own as well. Oh, you're actually attacking me. I could auto-resolve it. But then I'd lose my helicopters. So we'll do one more battle. Then I think come the new turn, I will call it there for tonight. At least for Warhammer 3. I'll have a short break, and then we'll switch over to the other thing I have planned. Your Kit Kat won't break me. Kinda wish I had one. I'll have to get something to have a snack on in the break. Chocolate biscuit or something. Okay, they're gonna be there. They've got some flying units. I don't have artillery. I'm not up against the edge of the map, and I don't really want to, because that's... yeah, that's down there. but here, there's a nice hillside there. But they're attacking me, so they're going to come and attack me as soon as I start the battle.
Finding range, sir! Sigmar commands! Pick targets! Pick targets! Look to the sky! A bloody moon!
I am supreme!
Handgunners!
Okay. Start battle. Guard mode. We're not going to bother with making the what's it called? Making the reinforced pioneer trenches. We'll just make these ones, and you can run out there and build that.
Don't misfire!
Okay.
Affirmative!
Ooh, they're actually gonna have
Moving
magic,
now!
which they're gonna cast to my flying units, aren't they?
Sigmar calls!
That's a little worrisome.
Mortar! My God, Maras!
And they've got good flankers.
We are ready!
Okay,
To battle!
run back in here.
Sir! Go! Let's go! Shoot them! Shoot them!
Try and deal with those Vargeists a little.
Handgunners!
Okay. We'll try pioneer
For
trenching over there.
Hammer! Sigmar commands!
Oh, ow. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. Block of doom.
Handgunners! Farina, guide our aim! Take position!
Okay. Drive back!
Ready for war! Quick march! Show us the foe!
Okay, good. So a lot of fell bats and some dire wolves coming in over there. Position yourselves like that. Pioneers. Put some barbed wire there.
Gunners! Loaded, sir!
If I could just get
By
Hey,
Ulrich's wrath!
some kind of a barrier up there.
Gunners! Huntsman! On the hunt!
It'll help me a lot. Okay, good. That flank is protected.
To battle! No lingering!
Ah, the bats! Ah!
Ulrich's wrath on them! Quick march!
Sigmar commands! We are Sigmar's heirs!
Okay. Oh, right. Ulrich's got a bow.
Ground! All ranks fire! Handgunners! Sigmar calls! We are ready!
The Empire endures!
At the ready! Attack! Don't give them an inch!
There's a crazy vampire running at us. Quick, shoot him with a bow.
They are using dark force against the enemy!
Well, you kind of hit him. Maybe. Not really. Okay. Right, you're out of combat now. I'm gonna move you back here. Keep shooting, Vlad. You're not shooting. You're not shooting. You don't have a good line of sight. Move back a bit. Maybe further up on the hill. That will help.
Formation march! Handgunners!
Balthazar Gelt!
Ready to fire!
Okay, good.
Ranged weapons ready! To battle!
Vlad's dead. Shoot Conrad now, please.
Huntsman! By Ulrich's wrath! Handgunners! By Ulrich's wrath! To us, the foe! Formation, march!
Oh, I think they're crumbling. There we go. That was a little closer than I liked. Also, you get to see the neat effects they have from the what's it called? Searing doom spell now? Yeah. It gives like this little metallic effect on the grass, and you see these little spikes of metal sticking out of the ground. They've been updated. CA have been updating the visual effects of some of the old spell laws. I think Lore of Metal and Lore of Death had them updated last. Oh, you're unbreakable.
Lord of Metal!
Okay.
Standing by! At speed!
Oh, you're not permanently unbreakable? Okay, good.
The Empire ends!
Okay, there we go. That was closer. What the heck is that? Modern steam maneuver warfare is a military doctrine specialized around the Empire's combined arms use of steam tanks, handgunners, and heavy cavalry that emphasize the use of mobility, speed, and surprise to gain an advantage over an enemy. It was developed by the Imperial Army during the War of the Vampire Counts and was further refined in later wars. The application of modern steam-powered maneuver warfare involves the use of combined armed tactics such as infantry. Okay. I think people pointed out that was really long. It's added by a mod. Maybe the Tomb Kings mod, because I see something about Tomb Kings in there. But it's kind of ridiculous, but they've kept it in as a, as a haha. Tooltip. While very different in use, scrolls detailing the Hecaran chariots in ancient and sometimes modern warfare found recently by Bretonnian archaeologists from Xandrian tombs indicate that these may be considered an early development of maneuver warfare. Chariots were lightweight and fast, allowing them to be used for reconnaissance, flank attack, and pursuing a fleeing enemy. Okay. Wound recovery. Let me get that. Let's get supply wagons. Okay. Well, Vlad's been dealt with for the moment, but we'll save it there, and we'll continue with this next time, where we'll probably begin the war against Festus. I have to take back Middenheim. To take Brass Keep from him. Oh, they've actually taken Dieterschaffen from the Scalings. This is I forget his name. Angry Corn Norsken dude. Where is he? This guy. Egil Stierbjorn. So, yeah. Yeah. Other than that... Oh, they're actually fighting off the greenskins over there. Dwarves are actually doing pretty good in the Badlands. It's turn 93. I do have some disasters on, so they might start occurring at around turn 100, 120. I don't remember exactly, and I don't really want to check when they'll start, but that is something we have to watch out for. Disasters can occur, so we could end up with Skaven, Greenskin, or linesmen and Chaos invasions and so on. We have to deal with that. Oh boy. Fun, fun, fun. But I'll thank you very much for joining and hope you join me again next time. Once it quits, I'll stop the local recording. There we go.